Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is FPLElmer and you're going to be going through match day 1 team selection for the Champions League. Glad to have the Champions League back. It's been a while since we watched the Man City Inter Milan final where Man City took the trophy. So it's time for a fresh start for every team. Let me know in the comments who you think your favorites are, who you think are gonna win, and let me know your top scorer as well. But before we get into the Champions League fantasy stuff, we're aiming for 100 subscribers. I think you're like one or two away. So if you're new around here, make sure you subscribe. And if you enjoy content, make sure you leave a like. It really helps out the channel. And without wasting any much time, let's get straight into it. So we'll start off with the goalkeepers and the defenders. In goal, you're going to be having Ter Stegen, who, in my opinion, is the best goalkeeper in the world at the moment. And of course, Barcelona have one of the easiest Champions League group on paper, I think, behind Man City at the moment. Man City, of course, have Leipzig, but Barcelona's group, I think, is one of the easiest. And I think they're going to manage to keep a lot of clean sheets and is also going to get a lot of saves if he faces any shots. So I think Ter Stegen is just a must-have. Then we have Jan Sommer from Inter Milan. Remember last season, Inter Milan were very difficult to score against when they had Onana, and so I think Sommer can be able to replicate that kind of performance. And Sommer is one of the cheapest playing goalkeeper in a decent team. I must add at the end there, in a decent team. So I think Ter Stegen and Sommer, I think, are the best goalkeeper partnership at the moment, and I think everyone should be going towards that. Unless you have any other options, let me know in the comments as well. Then the defenders have gone for Ake, best defense in the world, Man City, I think, at the moment. Ake is very cheap at 4.5 million. Then from them with the Man City players, who is going to start and who's not going to start. I mean, and I think we are very lucky in match day 1 because Man City will be playing on the Tuesday, so we'll be able to know if he doesn't start, you can just sub him off for another player on the Wednesday. So I've gone for Ake, cheap, easy group for Man City as well, and they have a very easy opening fixture. So I went with Ake. Then we have Kunde, just the same things as Stegen, easy group, so guaranteed many clean sheets. And Kunde is also an aerial threat. You could argue for the like of Cancelo, who looked wonderful during the weekend, and that's also a consideration at the moment. So that's this team, by the way, is not the final team. I'm going to make some changes here and there before the deadline. If you want to see the final team, you can check out my Instagram. The link will be down in the description where I post my final team and my thought process behind that team. Then the next player you can see there is Camo at 4 million at the moment. Might be the cheapest playing defender. I just checked and he played the last Porto fixture, so he might be someone to consider. 4 million, I think is just a budget option, so I'd go for him. If you're short on funds on some place and take a punt on him, doesn't play, you can just sub him off for someone else. Then you have Carvajal, who is a very attacking Real Madrid defender. That's why I've gone for him. He offers that some goals, some assists here and there. But you can also order for Fran Garcia, who I think might be slightly cheaper, and just gives you the same outcome as Carvajal. So that's something else to consider. If you're short on funds, you can go for Fran Garcia. But for now, I've gone for Carvajal. Then you have Matteo Damian. I think the same reasons as Soma, cheapest playing defender in a decent team at 4.5 million. Inter looked really good defensively last Champions League run, and that's why I've gone for Damian and Soma in there. So that's the defense, looks pretty solid. So let's move on to the midfield. So for the midfield, we have gone for Bukayo Saka. Is in a very easy group as well. I think the third easiest group in the Champions League at the moment, and he's the best Arsenal player. If you look at Arsenal, you just think, where is the creative spark going to come from? And it's going to be from Saka, and that's why I put him in the team. At 9.5 million, looks a little bit expensive, but in that kind of group, I think it's somewhat of a bargain to have him. So that's why I've gone for him. Then you have Olmo, best Leipzig player at the moment, easy game week 1 fixture, and you all know he's just a goal scorer for Leipzig. The only slight concern to watch out for is injury news. he might be injured for match day 1. So maybe we'll look out for some of the press conference. So if he's going to be injured, I think I'm going to go for Thuram in there. I've seen that he plays midfield in FPL, although he's an attacking option for Inter. So it can be a great exploit of the game at the moment. So Thuram is also in my mind in case we hear that Olmo is not going to be starting. Then we have Xavi Simons there. Just the same reasons as Olmo. Easy game week 1 fixture. Has hit the ground running at Leipzig, scoring goals left, right, and center, and getting assists. So I think I'm going to be going for Simons, and at 6.5 million, I think it's a very decent option. Then the next player there from Real Madrid, we're going to have Jude Bellingham, best Real Madrid player at the moment, in my opinion. He's playing really, really nice, really good for Real Madrid. I think he's going to be very good in the Champions League as well. And you all know that in the Champions League, the scoring system is a little bit different, where the midfielders get more points for balls recovered, attacking runs, and things like that. And I think Bellingham is going to be a points magnet for Real Madrid. Then you have Barella, best Inter midfield. I think that's the main things as Bellingham, balls recovered, attacking stuff here and there. He does that really well for Inter, and that's why I've gone for Barella as well. So that's the midfield for now. Looks pretty strong, so we'll see how it's going to go. And then now we can move on to the forwards. We're going to be having Lewandowski, the bagsman for Barcelona. In that type of group, I think he's going to score a lot of goals. I think it's a toss-up between Leo and Haaland, who's going to be the top scorer. And also you see Leo is there. Haaland is also in the team. I think bagsman for Man City. He has to play every game. He's going to score almost in every game in that league. Might break Ronaldo's record. We never know what might happen. But those groups, I think, are just too easy for Barcelona and Man City. And Lewandowski and Haaland are going to have field days in those leagues. And that's why I've gone for the both of them in there. I could argue for Mbappe, for Kane, but I think Leo and Haaland, I think they're up there. Then we have Julian Alvarez finishing off the team, been playing the KDB role so far, and he's been getting goals and assists, and I'm sure he's going to be doing the same thing in the Champions League before the return of KDB. So for now, I'm going for Leo, Haaland, and Alvarez in the forward position. Guarantees goals, and Alvarez adds that assist perspective into the team, and this is how the team is going to look like so far. I might make changes here and there. As I mentioned, check out my Instagram for the final team, but for now, this is the team I'm thinking of. Let me know in the comments what you rate it out of 10, what you think about it, what changes you'll be making, and how your team will be looking like as well. So let's see how the team is going to be lining up for match day 1. So for match day 1, this is how the team is going to be looking like. Ter Stegen in goal, Kunde, Ake, and Carmo in defense, Saka, Olmo, Simons, Bellingham in the midfield, and Lewandowski, Haaland, and Alvarez finishing up the front attacking position with Haaland as the captain. And on the bench, we have the players who are going to be playing on the Wednesday, just in case the players on a Tuesday blank. We have Soma, Carvajal, Damian, and Barella on the bench. So they'll be coming on in case a player gets injured, doesn't play well, doesn't get the desired points. And that's the good thing about the Uefa Fantasy, because we switch on captains to someone playing on the Wednesday, because Haaland is going to be playing on the Tuesday. So that's how the team is going to be lining up. And yeah, so with that, I'd like to thank you all guys for watching. Make sure you hit that sub button if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all guys later. Bye bye.